ladies and gentlemen. So what we're gonna do here, my name is Jose Cabrera, and I am the creator of Crying Macho Man, and I'm gonna share with you a little bit of my process, how I go about coming up with an idea and bringing it to a final product. So I usually have my little sketchbook that I carry around with me everywhere. Not really everywhere, I should, because I lose a lot of ideas that way. But for the most part, I do carry my sketchbook around. And a lot of my cartoons that I come up with, that I put out, usually have their birth in here. Actually, that's not true. Their birth comes from, let's say, someone telling me a joke, like the guy who's filming me right now, Jim Lujan. That guy. Oh, hey, he told me a really funny joke on the phone one day, and I thought it was ridiculously funny. And I said, "Yo, I'm gonna use it for a cartoon." And he's like, "Sure, sure." He says, "Like, how are you gonna pull that one off? It's kind of raunchy." And I was like, "I can pull it off. I can make it a little bit, you know, PC, but still give it its flavor, you know, without, you know, giving everything away." So I'm going to show you a little bit about how I work. So basically the idea comes verbally, then I go down on my sketchbook, and then I'll start to do a little layout. So I'll look at where I want the characters to be, who the characters are. This time I decided to put in a couple of my friends in there because I wanted the waiting room to be a doctor's waiting room, because the joke is a doctor joke. I have ideas to have a waiting room full of people, so I decided to make them the cartoonistas, my friends. So you have here Ted Seiko, Javier, Michael, Jim, Raul, and then I added Graciela later, and then one of the main characters in the joke and the doctor. And then you have here the joke as it's laid out, the second panel. So I had to really create this joke and tidy it up and make it tight in about 4 panels. I usually work in 4 panels. This time I decided to add the room, the waiting room, because I thought it'd be really interesting to show all the characters and just give it a little bit more spice. So I decided to come up with this and the 4 panels. Boom, 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 punchline. So delivery, middle, shock, and then kapow, you know, the punchline. And that's kind of way I work. I try to do as simple as possible and minimally, because I don't want to bore people to death. Most people have the attention span of a gnat. So I'm kidding, not you. You guys are actually listening to this, so you don't have the attention span of a gnat. But you know who I'm talking about. All right, so the next thing I'll do is I'll go on my stylus. I'm not a big ink person, and I'm not obsessive compulsive. I like getting dirty sometimes, but I've been using this for a couple of years and it works really well for me. It saves me on like collecting all this paper and having piles and piles and piles of artwork that I don't want to have on me. I don't know why. I should have original boards, but I do my stuff on the computer. I have a huge file. The files are usually 18 by 24 at 300 dpi, so you're talking about bigger than poster size. I mean, they're huge. So if I ever wanted to print this big size, poster size, I could do that. So I usually start off really big. Then I'll come on here, if you're filming here, you can see the sketch a little bit more fleshed out. And the sketch comes on, and you'll see in a gray tone in the background. And it's basically, let me just take this lettering part out. It's basically the sketch on one layer, the way it came on here. So you see the before, if you show this part, and then you see the layout here. And as you see, it's kept kind of true to what I kind of drew. And then the next step would be, okay, the inking part. So after I'm done with that, I'll do the inking part, which is right on top of it, and that's the final product. Okay, so now we'll go through the joke real quick. So the doctor comes in and he asks, "Arnold Coleman," and the guy goes into the room and he says, "Slip into this robe and I'll be back in a moment to give you your physical." A little later, "I got some bad news," he's scratching his head, and the guy nervously turns around. "What?" "You gotta stop masturbating." The guy's thinking, "Forever?" And the guy finishes off saying, "No, just long enough to finish your physical." Ba-dum-bum. So that's basically a joke that you can see how I work. So hopefully that helps out, and over and out. The website, you can find all this stuff on www.cryingmachoman.com. So whenever you want to laugh, just come on over to my joke site and enjoy yourself.